In today's video, I just want to touch base on everything that's happening in current events and kind of go from there. The COVID-19 outbreak has sparked a lot of panic buying and different things, and I just wanted to go over what I feel, in my opinion, are the top 5 guns that someone should own in a pandemic type situation. Like this, it's going to be a more urban environment. This isn't some bug out scenario where you're going to be hunting for food, theoretically, hopefully. So it's going to be much more urban, and the dangers you're going to be dealing with are going to be other people maybe trying to loot your place. So we don't have to worry so much about range. So this list is going to kind of reflect that. So the first thing I have on the list is the Glock 17 or the Glock 22. Really, it's caliber preference. I'll go over some pluses and minuses for each. 9mm is widely available and very popular. There's less recoil impulse. The Glock is just the Toyota Camry of guns. We've heard that said multiple times. It's designed for professionals. The Glock 17 and the Glock 22 is both trusted by law enforcement officers and military personnel around the globe because of their unsurpassed reliability and their magazine capacity. The Glock 17 holds 17 rounds and the Glock 22 holds 15 rounds. And they're standard magazines, but you can get extended magazines. They have relatively low weight for the package that you get. So caliber differences, 9mm versus 40 caliber. So I lean more towards the Glock 22 because when there's ammo shortages, you can usually find 40 on the shelf, but 9mm is not going to be found. As well, the 40 caliber is a little bit more hard hitting with not that much more recoil and time between shots. So I'm leaning more towards that, mainly because the ammo scarcity for the 9mm is going to be crazy. So my next firearm is going to be the Mossberg 930, which is a semi-automatic 12-gauge system. The reason I chose a semi-automatic 12-gauge is ease of use. You don't have to remember to rack another round between shots, which for beginners and people that aren't going to be practicing as much with their firearms is very important. I recommend a 930 with an 18.5-inch barrel or 20-inch barrel, and that's going to be an excellent home defense gun. If you get slugs or butt shot, in the case you would need to go hunting some rooftop rabbit or something like that, you would definitely be able to. They're definitely great for urban combat. Do not get a model, whether pump, semi-auto, whatever, with a pistol grip. Pistol grips on shotguns are not a good idea. They are inaccurate. The only people that use them militarily or in police forces, SWAT, things like that, are breachers that are using them to shoot open a door. You're probably not going to have to do that. So avoid the pistol grip. Next on my list here is the LCP or LCP2. This really comes down to preference. I've owned an LCP for years and years, and I like it. Here the LCP2 is much more refined and better, so that's something to keep an eye on. But the LCP is the lightweight compact pistol made by Ruger. It's got a 2.75-inch barrel. It's got a 380 caliber. It's got a 6+1 capacity, but they do make extended magazines for it. ProMag makes a 10-round mag for it, and you can get factory 7-round magazines. This is a gun that you can put in your pocket and take with you everywhere, to the supermarket, etc., etc. And make sure you have your concealed carry permit before doing that. You don't want to get in trouble with the law, but having a firearm on you at all times is very important, which is why I recommend something like the Ruger LCP. Now, practice is very important with the firearm like this because they're very small, they're very lightweight, and even though it is shooting a smaller round, they have a snappy recoil. So you're going to make sure that you need to get on target and be able to maintain that. Now, the LCP2 does come in a 22 LR variant, which no one wants to get shot with anything, even a 22 LR. It wouldn't be my first choice, but it is what it is. Which leads into the next rifle I'm going to be discussing, which is the Mossberg 702 Plinkster. This is kind of like the hillbilly cousin of the Ruger 1022. It's cheap, and that is the main allure of this rifle. You can find this rifle between $70 and $115, brand new, depending on where you go and what sales are going on. It uses a Marlin-style action, which is proven action. Look at the Marlin Glenfield, etc., the Model 66. They use the same action. It's fairly reliable. It comes with a 10 and 25 round box magazine. 22 LR ammo is incredibly cheap. You can buy 500 rounds for $20. That is insanely cheap. And again, no one wants to get shot. You don't have to worry about overpenetration as much. Even with a 22, if you shoot them 25 times with a 22, they're going to go down, or whatever it is that you're shooting at. Which leads me to my next rifle, which is, of course, the venerable AR-15. In any situation where you're going to need to defend yourself against potentially more than one person, you want a force multiplier. A force multiplier is something that makes it so you're able to effectively engage multiple targets at the same time. It's a lightweight semi-automatic rifle based on the Armalite AR-15 design. Armalite actually sold the patent and trademarks to Colt back in 1959, so this is a time-tested, proven rifle. It's been through multiple wars. The setup and specs I would recommend would be a 14.5-inch barrel with a red dot optic or iron sights. None of the fancy accessories or anything like that, except for maybe a light. I recommend polymer handguards. You want to keep this lightweight in case you have to carry it anywhere. It might not feel heavy when you pick it up, but as someone who has been heavily into hunting, every pound counts, especially when you have to walk. And if the gas stations got shut down and there was no gasoline, guess what? You're going to be walking. Not that I expect that to happen with this particular crisis, but it is what it is. And with ammunition choice, you can buy hollow points and fragmenting rounds, so you won't have to worry about overpenetration as much. But you do want to be aware of what you're shooting at and what is beyond it, because the 223 round or 5.56 round can be prone to overpenetration, especially in its full metal jacket configuration. It is a very small, lightweight cartridge, moving at an incredibly high rate of speed. So those are my top 5 rifles for any pandemic. I'm sorry this kind of dragged out, but I just wanted to get this out there and maybe try to help some people with firearms choices that don't really know much about firearms. This is geared more towards beginners, and it's a starting point, if you already have a Maverick 88 12 gauge, that's a great starting point. Just because it's not semi-automatic doesn't mean that it's not a great gun. If you have a Ruger 38 or even a Taurus 38 revolver or something like that, it is absolutely better than nothing. Even a 22 revolver in a pinch is going to be better than throwing a stick at somebody.